Welcome to the Friday Show, Best of 2014. I'm Trenton Davis.
And I'm Kiera Allen. In this episode, we look back at some of our best stories from this year. A group of Korean students and their teachers came to Hoover High School a couple weeks ago to experience the differences between America and Korea. WBUC's Trey Davis has the story.
Some students from Korea and their teacher have partnered with HHS through the AVECA program. A small group of these students have come to see how America and Korea compare. Before leaving Korea, Regina Yo was timid to the idea of discrimination, but has come to find that the people here are nicer than the ones back home.
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm really excited. I'm a little bit worried about racial things because here is a south part in America, but everybody's so nice. So much nicer than Korean.
This being their first trip to America made teacher Anna Shin find difficulty preparing, but also was one chance in a lifetime for them.
This was my first experience preparing for that, so it was pretty stressful, but it's a great opportunity for both me and my students.
One of the first things they did when they came to America was they attended church, which left Regina speechless.
Well, I feel it's like there's some kind of concert or movie theaters. Really fun, and at the end I was really about to cry. Well, it was kind of touching.
Overall, their stay was great, and they were gracious to the way they had been treated.
I just want to say thank you for being so welcoming. We were very grateful.
New relationships formed, and for the kids of the AVECA program, Hoover High School says there will always be a place welcome to them. Reporting for WBUC News, I'm Trey Davis.
Many students think of their teachers as only teachers. In an effort to show that teachers have lives outside of the classroom, Jocelyn Freeman reports on one of these teachers.
You might not be able to find anyone busier at Hoover High School than English teacher Jillian Thomas. She juggles between teaching and raising two small boys ages 3 and 4.
Mommy, stop.
She says it takes a lot of work to find time for all she needs to do.
It is a balance, but it's wonderful. They require a lot of attention and discipline and time, but so do my students. And I love being able to love on both of them individually, my kids, my real kids, and my student kids, who I consider my children anyways.
Ms. Thomas has yet added another teaching duty this year. She is co-leading a program that helps connect teachers and students from different parts of the world. The program is the International Virtual Education Classroom Association, also known as AVECA. Ms. Thomas says the good thing is she does not have to learn a foreign language.
They speak English. It's their second language, but they know it better than we know South Korean or Korean. So we don't have to learn much as far as language development, except for, just nice things like how to say hello and goodbye and thank you and you're welcome and things like that. But otherwise, we don't have to learn a whole new language, which is very helpful.
As you can see, regardless of the setting, Ms. Thomas is a very busy person. Reporting from WBUC, I'm Aaron Ravizzi.
Now, every alum knew exactly what their future had in store for them as a high school student, but many of them questioned the relevance of the material they learned in high school. My co-anchor and I set out to answer the question, when will I use this?
The Jacksonians replaced the caucus with the National Nominating Convention at nominating any... When am I going to use this? If you're anything like me, then you hate to study, and you're constantly asking, when are we going to use the things that we use in high school? Well, teacher Brian Rosensteel says that simply being able to focus while studying will help you later in life.
Having good study skills and the ability to focus gives you a level of discipline that allows you to do many tasks in life. The skills they get from just being disciplined enough to allocate time for studies is going to be reflected in how they can exercise discipline and focus in their tasks in their job.
Not only will the things you learn in high school help you in your job, but they'll help you in your everyday life. Mrs. Hamley says that learning to analyze literature helps you look at things differently.
It becomes more and more important to actually form our own opinions and not just say, oh, well, I read this on the internet, so it must be true. And so being able to read and decide and analyze can be really important.
Sometimes students don't mind analyzing literature, but they do not like to write.
When my students say, oh, I hate writing, my response to them is, writing is thinking on paper. So you're telling me I hate thinking.
All other parts of English aside, spelling and grammar are important too. Otherwise, you'll look like an idiot.
It makes my skin crawl when I see people post on Facebook sentences that have no capital letters and no punctuation, and they want someone else to understand what they're saying.
Rosenstiel says, while in high school, students should focus on their studies while they have the chance.
From 9th grade on, it sets up a lot of opportunity and economic independence in life to prioritize on academia.
Once you've studied enough, you'll finally have the chance to relax.
Work now in high school and play later for the next 40 or 50 years.
Maybe we won't use everything that we learn in high school, but that doesn't mean it's not important. We learn communication skills, study skills, and so many different things that we're going to use in life. I think the information we use in high school all varies in relevance. So to answer the question, when will I use this? Well, I think that all depends on what this is. I think it's safe to say that high school isn't completely pointless. Oh yeah, I've got some studying to do. Reporting for WBUC News, I'm Trenton Davis. Many teachers leave Hoover High School for maternity or paternity leave each year. WBUC's Whitney Thomas went out to get a better understanding of what it's like to leave Hoover and then come back home.
Many teachers leave Hoover High School for maternity or paternity leave. We talked to a couple teachers to find out what it's like to leave school for such an extended period of time and then come back. We talked with Hoover High School history teacher Matthew Walker, who left Hoover High for 1 month on paternity leave. Mr. Walker said that he decided to leave because he wanted to develop a close bond with his daughter.
I really wanted to have that time where I could spend with my daughter, especially in the really young years.
We also talked with science teacher Natalie Chartrand, who left Hoover for 8 years. Ms. Chartrand said she decided to take such an extended leave to take care of her son.
It was just going to be easier on my family for me not to have to worry about working and taking care of a baby.
Mr. Walker said he was very excited to be able to spend a lot of time with his daughter.
It was really great just to, get up in the morning and be with her for a while and spend that time with my new daughter.
However, he was also worried about leaving his students for a whole month in the middle of the year.
Tough for me to kind of let go of my class for a month and let someone else teach my kids and teach my class that I had spent so much time, working on, preparing, and getting it ready.
Ms. Chartrand was also excited to spend time with her son and not have to worry about work.
I was most excited that I didn't have to worry about the additional stress of having a job or leaving him in daycare. I was excited that I was going to be home with him all day.
After being gone for so long, Ms. Chartrand said that the issue that worried her the most was if she could balance taking care of her children and working at Hoover.
Able to juggle 2 kids now and a career again.
While Mr. Walker said coming back to Hoover was exciting, he was a little sad to leave his daughter.
It was bittersweet. I enjoyed spending the time and that I had at home with my daughter, but it was kind of nice to come back and see the kids.
While both teachers were excited to spend some time with their children, they were also very excited to come back home to Hoover. Reporting for WBUC News, I'm Whitney Thomas.
School is often a stressful time for all students, but some has it worse than others. Depression and other mental illnesses are far too common in Hoover. Reporter Cassidy Bradley tells us how Hoover helps his own.
The recent death of comedian and actor Robin Williams is causing the topic of depression to be pushed into the forefront. Even those close to him did not see it coming. Hoover student counselor Katie Smith says that many times what people feel internally is not reflected externally.
Very frequently, what people portray on the outside is not how they're feeling on the inside.
While most students in high school experience struggles and heartaches, for teens like 10th grader Kaylee Stevenson, the simplest tasks become overwhelming.
I get so stressed that it's kind of crippling, and it prevents me from doing stuff that I'd rather be doing.
But Ms. Smith says that there is help within the walls of Hoover High. Hoover is partnering with the National Alliance of Mental Illness to help bring these students together.
The plan is to let students know that they're not alone and to be able to open up to each other and support each other, share the different ways that they have coped with anxiety or depression or bipolar disorder or another mental illness.
Many people know that sugar causes diabetes, obesity, and many other bad health situations, but many people do not know that sugar can age you. My co-anchor, Kiera Allen, has a story.
Many people love drinks, but not many people know how much sugar goes into your drink per day. Studies are starting to show that sugar is starting to age our white blood cells. Crazy, huh? The University of California has recently done a study that suggests that drinking an excessive amount of drinks with a high quantity of sugar can not only put you at risk of getting diabetes and becoming obese, but aging faster. We talked to a few Hoover High School students, Diana Collin, Raul Sharma, and Kate Mosley, who drink different sugary beverages, such as sodas, Gatorade, juices, and coffee, to see how they feel about this new revelation.
That people need to start drinking more water and maybe just lower themselves on sugar drinks.
It's like your own choice. You have to know when to stop and how much to drink. So it's their choice.
I think that there needs to be like cut back on sugars and stuff if that's actually happening, because that's not good.
But now that they know what sugary drinks can do to them, will they reduce the amount of sugar they drink per day? While Diana says no, Raul and Kate have different opinions.
Yeah, I think we should cut back on it.
I think I manage it pretty well. Like I drink enough, just like water sometimes to offset, and I exercise enough to offset the drinks.
The awareness of how much sugar you consume will help you in the long run. Reporting for WBUC News.
It's time now to take a look at sports. Here's sports anchor Chris Brady.
The top story in sports is the Hoover Bucks football team is once again the state champions. This time, Hoover received the blue map for the very first 7A state title. The Bucks traveled to Auburn's Jordan-Hare Stadium to play Prattville and never trailed in the game while winning by a score of 35-21. Running back Marcus Webb was named the MVP of the game. Hoover has now won 3 straight state championships and will enter the 2015 season with a 12-game win streak. In other sports news this week, both the girls and boys basketball teams have defeated rival Vestavia Hills. The Lady Bucks dominated in their 60-13 victory, while the boys came away with a 34-22 victory. Over the holidays, both teams will be busy. The girls will be playing in the Carolina Invitational, while the boys will be playing in 2 tournaments. They will play in the Steel City Invitational at Samford University and will then host the Big Orange Classic. Finally, indoor track is underway. Last week, the boys' teams finished second, and the girls won the meet at the Magic City Invitational at the Crossplex. And that's a look at sports. I'm Chris Brady.
Thanks for watching the Best of 2014. That's all we have for this show.
Be sure to check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/HooverHighNews. Until next time.
Thanks for watching and have a great holiday.
And go Bucks!